And here we are. Yay.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Hello from two hemispheres.
Sounds like the brain instead of the world.
I know. I know. The right and the left. Yeah, absolutely.
versus versus top and bottom. I don't know, bottom top. I don't know. I guess depending on where you are in space.
That's very true. That's very true. I just, by the way, I did just hear that Antarctica's huge glacier broke off. That isn't on the way to you, is it? I hope not.
Well, it's very far. It takes okay, so if you're gonna fly down there, you leave from the South Island, usually from Christchurch, which is in the South Island, and usually on a military plane, and to get to Scott Base, which is a New Zealand base. So that takes like 8 or 9 or 10 hour flight. I mean, it's a long way.
Okay. Okay. All
It
right.
looks really close on the world map, but inches mean thousands of
Yeah. Oh,
miles
I
or
know.
kilometers.
Yeah. All right. So maybe
We're
in
okay.
50 years you'll need to be wondering and
Yeah,
worrying
it could
about.
melt prior to that, and
Still,
get on people's doorsteps.
still rather
Before.
disturbing that happened. That really
Yeah,
upsets me that happened. But anyway,
yeah, it's not. Oh, hey everybody! I can see everybody in the chat.
we're gonna say hello
Uh,
to everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
hey, 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 hey! Oh wow!
so
Yay! It's lovely to see everybody.
I know we
Hey,
got Mr. Craig and we've got Teresa Ford and we have Jeff from Tarot Ask Backwards and we have
I love it.
Christy Pryor,
Okay.
yeah, Joyful Journey,
Yeah.
Kimberly
Cool.
Canoe, yeah, and Laura Hammond Davis. Great to see everybody here. And
Hey
howdy,
everybody.
it's Arrow Stash.
There's
Nice to
Stash.
be
I'm
with
sorry,
you
I don't have any good props. The only one I have is Yoda.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah,
Grogu from Star Wars, and if he's goes.
that's funny. At least you had Yoda. Julie is
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
and Michelle is here, and Leah is here. Yes, and Louise Fote. Well, good morning, everybody.
Hey
We are
everybody.
we are in fairly early. It's 8:30 here on the Pacific Coast, and down in New Zealand, it's tomorrow at 5:30 a.m.
That's the copious amounts of coffee that I've
That's right.
imbibed in the last
That's
hour.
right. There you go. Hi, Mary Thornberry. It's good to see you,
Hey
dear.
Mary, joyful
So
journey. Hey
yes,
Leah.
Anne looked it up, and I can't believe it, but it's been 3 months since we were together, and that's too long. Here, Yoda,
Yeah.
excellent prop. B.
B. Yeah, you got the word order right for how he speaks. That's for sure.
Hi, Jane the Seeker. Hi, Jane. It's good to see you
Hey.
too. All right. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can put up a couple of questions, and we'll see if we can get to them nearer to the end. Anne and I are just going to catch up with a few things. As both of us are academics, we it isn't it isn't unusual for us to be crazy busy in the fall term. And so it makes a lot of sense
Hmm.
that we haven't really caught up. But then Anne had a paper to write. She had a presentation to give for school. And she took 2.5 weeks and went to Germany, Egypt,
Italy,
and
Italy, and
Italy.
Egypt. Yeah, it
Yes,
was
yes,
awesome.
yes, yes. Yeah. So
Very, very
we'll talk a
blessed.
little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about that. And
Yeah.
then we want to also talk about something that Anne thought of, and I love it. And it was how to stay as stress free as possible, or how to get through the holidays. Is that what it was?
Or how to thrive instead of survive the seasons. I mean, I know it brings up so
Yeah.
many. For some people, it's the happiest time. For a lot of
Yeah.
people, they may not show up. It can be a real challenging time. So how do we find that peace within?
Find the peace. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Yes, Julie, you're right. It's one of the things we love about the lives. We end up later, early around the world. And Craig Dixon says,
Cool.
how is the future? Which I've asked you many times. I love that.
Oh,
How
it's
is the
great. The future is
future?
fabulous. Don't worry about it. I purposely planned to myself in the future so I could let you know you're okay. Everything's gonna be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. We're okay. At least till tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Monday. There you go.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
and by then, Ann will be into Tuesday, and so we'll have to see
Yeah,
from
yeah,
there.
yeah. I'll let you know how it goes.
Hi, Nancy Riker. It's good to see you as well. So,
Awesome.
All right.
Hey,
So
Nathan.
tell us a little bit, as much as you want, about your trip. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was an unexpected trip. Hubby had a work thing, and they let the
Mhm.
wives go or partners go, and so I'm like, yes, I want to go. So
Of course.
17 hours on one leg of the flight, and you just get to UAE, United Arab Emirates, and to Dubai, and then you had
Yeah.
another 7 hours to get to Germany, and then a
Oh
train
my
ride. So
Lord. A
within
whole day.
30, oh, 2 days. It was two
2 days.
days easy. Yeah, it was
Mhm.
insane, but it was so cool. And next thing you know, you're like, oh my god, we're halfway around the world, and it just
Yeah.
happens like that.
Yeah. And you had
But
just
it
come
was
back from California a couple of months
yeah,
earlier.
well, I went to go
Yeah.
I planned that before this thing happened, and, luckily my work was very kind and let me take the leave, which is cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But yeah, that was to see my family, and, seeing family
Right.
is
Right.
one thing, but going someplace on a
Oh, well,
holiday,
oh
I mean,
no,
I
I
haven't
know.
done that
But
for
I'm just
years.
saying the flight,
Yeah.
the flight. Yeah, the
Oh, yeah, the
flights.
flight
Yeah.
was 14 hours there that way. So I
Mhm.
guess because 'cause I've been here for 23 years now, I'm used to the long haul flights. I mean,
Sure.
I just kinda get into the zen mode with it. I know what I
Yeah.
gotta do, and blah, 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 blah. It's
Uh-huh.
fine, but it was great. Oh my gosh, it was
Good.
amazing, and jet lag wasn't too bad because it was the opposite, like, it'd be 12 PM my time, afternoon, and it'd be midnight. So,
Oh,
your
okay.
internal clock
12 hours.
gets really
Okay.
mixed up and you
Yeah.
get jet lagged, but you
Uh-huh.
just you just have a strategy of drinking a lot of coffee, and then you're fine.
Strong coffee. That's
Yeah,
right.
and
Yes.
like I am right now.
Uh-huh. I
So
get it. I
but
get it.
anyway, it
Yeah.
was fabulous. So we did the whole work thing. Then my husband and I like, let's have a few days to ourselves. It's the first time since we've had kids or anything that
Yeah.
we've done
Yeah.
something for ourselves. So we
Mhm.
went to Rome because my husband wanted to see old things. I'm like, right, well, you haven't been to Europe, so let's go see old things. So we went to Rome for a few days, which is amazing.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, right, I've done that. I'm very grateful, but I want to go to Egypt.
I know.
Oh my
I know.
God. If any of
Yeah.
you, if you have an inkling or a bucket list, you know, go. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And of course we were there the week after the whole Gaza thing broke out. So that was happening while we were in
I was a little
Germany.
worried about it. Yeah, I was.
Everybody was worried.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yes.
told us afterwards they were worried about it. My sister's like, don't go on the
I
phone.
know.
I'm like, am I I'm like, no, no, no. You don't understand. This is our only chance in our whole
I
lifetime.
know.
And it was
I know.
insane. It was really militarized. I mean, there were
Oh,
military
yeah.
presence everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, and we even outside of our hotel, there were bomb sniffer dogs in it was like
Oh, wow.
full noise. Oh yeah. I'm like, all right.
Oh,
At least we were really safe. But it was
sure.
just
I guess
weird
so.
seeing all the yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It was kind of you have to be kind of an intrepid
Yeah,
soul
you
to
do.
get out there and da 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 da. So
But
Pete
you
and I were like,
are.
no, where's the
You are.
pyramids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, but as soon as you see those pyramids and the amount of volume of space they take up, it's kind of like the experience of seeing like the Grand Canyon. I'm
Okay.
sure some of you've seen that. It's just
Yeah.
like this
Yeah,
big,
the
the
sheer, expanse of it all. Yes.
expanse of it all, and the
Yes.
pyramids. My gosh, they're huge. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. And you get inside, and I thought, okay, there's millions of tons of rock things
Yeah.
above me, and I'm gonna die. There's gonna, I was perseverating on the negative. I'm like, what if it falls through? And not at all. As soon as I get in, I'm so freaking happy. I was just like I was lit
Really?
up. There's an
Okay.
energy to these things,
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
real
I believe it.
strong, significant
And you
spiritual
feel
energy
it
to these things.
pull that you were from that period of time
Oh,
where they lived there. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean,
Mhm.
I went to one of the museums where you can see the mummies, and there are
Mhm.
different types of mummies, which I had no idea. I just
Mhm.
thought mummies were bodies that were wrapped up all the way through there are different types, so I
The
can go into
different
that
types,
another
depending
time.
on
Yeah,
how
but
long ago. Mhm.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, and they were just getting into mummification, and remember, there are multiple dynasties, so we're talking hundreds of years.
Oh, yeah.
They got the
Yeah.
sciences down, but
Yeah.
the royalty were preserved over 70 days, so they got the royal treatment with preservation, I guess.
There
And
you go. Yeah.
you could see their faces. So their faces are uncovered. You see their hair still. There's hair
Really?
on them.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
And you can see
Wow.
their feet and their hands. But the rest of them are covered up.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it was
yeah.
just like, oh my gosh. So I came upon this one mummy and I just started. bawling. I just started crying. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? The security guard's like, what the hell's wrong with her? Pardon my language. What the heck's wrong with her?
Oh, it's
And I'm
fine.
like, bleh, bleh, I'm like, and I just felt this pull, and I was really, really sad, but I was just really happy. So I think I was
I get it.
connected somehow to that
Uh-huh. Yep,
mummy, and that was
definitely.
Nefertiti, who is the wife of Ramses II, who's a very famous. Ramses II is like everywhere in Egypt.
Everywhere.
Okay,
Well, and
yeah, and
Nefertiti,
his
she in her own right was absolutely like a goddess. So I'm
well,
just
that's
sure. Yeah.
Nefertiti is the wife of somebody else, Akhenaten, I think. That's a
Okay.
different reign, but
A different one.
Nefertiti was
Oh,
the
oh,
okay.
okay.
So Ramses had like a lot of wives, so he was very a political strategist. So he would go around in the different kingdoms and marry different. So he had multiple wives. He's
Oh, I see.
polygamous,
Okay.
but
A
his
girl
first
in
wife
every
was
port.
Nefertiti. Yeah, basically. But he was smart because he was the first. I think somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. He was the first one to ever make a peace treaty.
Oh,
The first precedent of a peace treaty was in ancient Egypt. How
wow.
cool is that?
That
I'm
is
like,
very
"Yeah,
cool.
good on you."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
stuff like this. So anyway, I highly recommend traveling, but Egypt is just wow. And then we were only in the Giza Plateau and all around. We saw every pyramid we could see in that area, but of course there's a lot more. So I told my husband, right, we're gonna plan this in the future. We're gonna
Yeah.
do two,
You have
3 weeks,
to stay
and we're gonna
longer.
go. We have to
Mhm.
go see the rest of it. So I was
Well,
just
not only
so
that, but I don't know if you noticed, Netflix has had several shows on, one about
yes.
recently uncovered one, and then there's one not too far down the road.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Saqqara. We went there and we saw the
Okay, good.
dig.
Okay.
We took a photo right next to it, and that
Yep.
right next to, just above it, and in Saqqara, you'll see kind of a stepped pyramid that's kind of like
Yes.
this.
Uh-huh.
That's the pyramid of Dozier, and that's the very first pyramid that was ever built.
Okay.
In fact,
Okay.
my husband took a photo of us in front of it, and we framed it for our
Uh-huh.
wedding anniversary. It was just really
Oh,
sweet.
how wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was just
Well,
wow.
when I was
Yeah.
watching that, as you mentioned about the different type of not sarcophagus, but the different type of mummification,
Yeah.
the one that they recently found was really far back where they just had started mummifying, and
Yes.
the
Yes.
the bodies were in, not so, as good shape as they would be later on, and that's what's
That's
so
right.
fascinating. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and it's
Wow.
really fascinating, and so even the Romans and the Greeks, right? Because okay, Egypt, is right on the top of Africa, and there's Mediterranean, and then you got Italy above it and Greece. So they
Yeah.
were sailing around and trading
Sure.
and warring, and Rome was trying to take everything, which is where Mark Antony and Cleopatra hung out, which is a real thing. And we saw actually their dining room floor in Rome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that
Okay.
they
Yeah.
resurrected after an earthquake, so it was warbly,
Okay.
but
It was all
but
wobbly.
the different marbles could be attributed to the different areas where the Romans overtook different
Oh,
parts of
sure.
Africa,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
it was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, you can't make this up. This is amazing." It was
No.
just like, "Wow."
Yeah.
So,
There's nothing better
mm,
than traveling to the place because reading it
yeah.
or watching it in a movie, it's just not the same experience. That's
No,
wonderful.
and
Yeah.
to see and experience and hear it, and then I highly
Yeah.
recommend, because when I went to Rome the last time, I was like, what, 20? I had no money. I was backpacking. I ate once a day. That's how little money I had. I mean, I lost
Right.
a lot of weight,
Right.
which is great, but yeah.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have money for tours. So,
Uh-huh.
in my adulthood, da, 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 da,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I learned so much. We learned so much, and I was just
Sure
so
you did.
grateful. So
Sure
yeah,
you did.
like, oh my
Yep.
gosh, Leah, you know what, Leah? I actually did that in front of inside the big pyramid. They made me do
Did
that
you
and they took
really?
photos. Yes, I did the walk like Egyptian thing, and then of course Google sees it, makes a GIF out of it, so it's animated and
Yeah.
all
Yep.
that.
Yep. Either that
So
or
yeah,
Steve Martin's King Tut.
yeah, I
That's
know. I remember that.
yeah.
Had a
When
condom in a stoner.
he
I
did.
remember that.
I was lucky to have been able to see the King Tut traveling.
Yeah,
Um,
the death mask. The oh my
yep.
gosh.
Well, it was huge. The whole thing was huge. We saw huge
Oh
ones and all
yeah.
the gold and the things like that when it came
Yes.
to Seattle, and I was thrilled. I saw that, and I also saw all of those Chinese little tiny men or soldiers, the soldiers that
Oh
were made of
yes, that were
clay.
buried with their yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like in
yeah,
the Brendan Fraser movie where they come to life as but that's not true. I mean, they don't come to life, but
yeah,
yeah, they buried the
yeah,
whole army with them. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so they had him in the afterlife. That's
I know. I
incredible.
was so I was and I
Yeah.
also was able to see back in the 90s, I was able to see the Romanoff jewelry collection from
That would have been
yeah.
amazing.
Uh-huh. Yep.
That would have been neat. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it
I
was a
mean, the
lot of
world's
fun.
such a wonderful
It
place.
is. If you can't
Yeah.
get there, at least try to go to your museums when there's tours coming through because there's
Yeah.
nothing quite like being able to see the real thing. So Linda says, as a girl, I wanted to be an archaeologist, but it was not a good place for women back then. Yep. But we're soon to be a woman ruled planet. Yay!
Yay.
I
I'll tell you
hear
what,
you.
though, there was a female pharaoh called Akhenaten. You probably heard the name
Oh,
in movies, but
uh-huh.
she was very rare, and she actually wore fake beards and was depicted with fake beards because it was really so she had to masculine make herself masculine to be considered a ruler, or maybe
Mhm.
that was just her gig. Who knows?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
very famous. And it was very rare for women to write and be educated, and
Oh, yeah.
Nefertiti was one of them, the mummy I cried
Yeah.
at for,
Yeah.
I'm sure I was
Yeah.
connected with. So it was just like, yeah,
Well,
so I highly
and that
recommend it. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
and that continues into much later, actually, where there was a woman that's a movie being made about, and she was a famous violinist or a famous something or other at
Yeah.
during the first part of the 20th century, and she had to come across like a man because no one would hire her. And
Yes.
we see that over and over. And George
Yeah.
Eliot was actually Mary. Her name was Mary Ann. She wrote
Yeah.
Middlemarch and a few others. Yeah, yeah.
To
So
be in a
yeah,
man's world, you have to be a man, right? That kind of
at
in the
least
olden
at
days,
that time.
obviously. Betty Friedan would
Well,
have a heyday with that one, so would Gloria Steinem.
that's true. Although it's funny because Terry and I, holding your space, Terry,
Yeah.
she and I have
Yeah.
been doing archetypes and oracles, and
Mm,
we just keep bringing up women being sort of second place citizens, and it doesn't.
yeah.
We even can see it now. We can see it now. We see if there's a
Yeah.
strong woman out there, then she must be a
Yep.
bitch, right? She
Like
can't
Kamala
be.
Harris, right? That's
Yes.
case in point, and
Yeah.
in a modern period, unless of course she's married into it, like you might see in the royalty, then it's acceptable. But I don't see any of
Uh-huh.
them being that way that I know of. We just see a persona that's in the media. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Well, Craig, you're
Oh,
so
cool.
right about archaeology with Native Americans because they don't want
Yeah.
you messing with it. And
Yeah.
because there's a lot of, well, look at what happens if there were people that actually put a house up on a Native American
Yeah.
cemetery
That's
and
yeah. Mhm.
bad, 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 bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and that's what I did too, Craig. And thanks for bringing that point up, Craig. Because when I went and saw the mummies, I was just like, "I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you aren't in your resting place." I would go
Good.
through this and I'd say, "Thank you, and I hope you are well." And I mean, I was
Yeah.
just my skin was alight. I could feel the spirits. I mean, the depth and breadth of
Sure.
spirituality in that place was phenomenal. And even just being, listening to the prayers 5 times a day in a Muslim country. I've never been to a Muslim country. It was
Oh,
absolutely
okay.
beautiful.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then it was just the
Yeah.
6 a.m. through loudspeakers. People are still
On the
sleeping. And you hear
minarets,
these,
did you see
yeah,
the
out of the
minaret?
minarets.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, they're beautiful.
It was just, and we went to uh, uh, one of the most famous mosques in Cairo, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely exquisite tile work. And then the
Yeah.
prayers came on, and it was just wow. It just
Yeah.
blew my mind. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
just so spiritual. I didn't
Yeah.
understand a thing they were saying, but our guide
No,
was
didn't
telling
have
us,
to.
what was saying. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was
That's right.
amazing.
That's right. Those minarets are absolutely beautiful. They're usually
Mm,
round. They look like a
mhm,
chimney in a way, a huge, or like at least the ones I've seen,
mhm.
and very tall. And at the
Yeah.
top, I believe, is where the loudspeakers call people
Yes.
to prayer. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it used to be before loudspeakers and so forth, they had these special staircases that were quite ornate, where the speaker used to sit at the very
Oh,
top and kind
sure.
of scream
Yell it
sing
out.
their
Yeah.
prayers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so they keep examples of that because they're no longer needed, so they're in the museums and they're very ornate with beautiful artistry and tile work, and yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love what you said, Leah. That's
I know,
hilarious.
bitches get the. I said we do, Aaliyah. Honestly, if there wasn't for women, there's a lot of things that would go undone.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi,
That's
Mousy.
cool.
It's good to see you
Hi,
too.
Matthew.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you for sharing that. I've been dying to
Yeah.
hear a lot of that, and you can only write so much in an email, and
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Ellie.
no, it's all right, but it's so wonderful, and I agree with you about the bodies. I can't imagine if those were the bodies of my ancestors or my loved ones being displayed in a museum. But I get it. I get why they did it, but I agree with you. It's almost low. They ripped these people from their resting places. It seems kind of wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think that some of the pyramids, while some are burial locations, I do think that the main one, Khufu, the big one that everybody sees pictures on everywhere, I do think the King Khufu's name was not even placed anywhere to be seen
Oh,
or read on the pyramid. And the
okay.
way it was constructed, I personally think, and some of the science behind it and some of the research I've seen, it was an energetic place for some reason. Now, it
Yeah.
could be to power the civilization. It could be to go in there and rejuvenate. But there's an alt level energy in that place. And what we see now, it had white limestone on the outside and golden tips. So white. Imagine you're on your camel hanging out in the desert, coming up to this bright white.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can, it's blinding. I mean, the desert is so bright and so
Oh,
freaking
yeah. You
hot
think
there.
it's a mirage, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Sure.
then coming
Yeah.
upon that, it would just be an
Mhm.
overwhelming sight. Incredible,
Absolutely.
incredible. Anyway,
Absolutely.
thousands of
Wow.
years it's been there. Well, the
Uh-huh.
academic universe says 4,000. Some groups of people say 14,000. So go pick your thousands.
I would
You
put it more at the 14,000 range.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's pretty
Mhm.
significant, and I do think
Definitely.
energetically, the way I felt it, I don't know if you guys know what a Mercuba is, but here's one. I've got
Mhm.
this little one
Mhm.
here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So it's a
Okay.
star. I think the very tip sticking out, and energetically, there's this going on underneath the earth, and they've actually done research around all of the pyramids there, and so I'm talking energetically, not a physical shape like that, but I
Right.
think
Right.
energetically, they also have tunnels and water. There's like a real sophisticated complex underneath that they
Yeah.
won't let researchers into. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. American is
But,
always about
they're
coming back.
still
Yeah.
they're still looking for and finding different avenues under there, different
Oh
places that
yeah.
have walled off, and things that they've found are just amazing, like the
Yeah.
one you mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, all around
Man.
Saqqara, they're still yielding, landed gentry types of what you were saying from the Netflix special. If any of you have
Yeah.
Netflix and you're interested in that stuff, watch it. It's really
It is
fascinating.
very good. There's
Yeah.
another one, actually, they have 3 different ones for this series that they have. One of them
Oh,
is, it's more outer space, I believe, and then the 3rd
oh,
one is about a cave that they found, I believe it was in Africa,
oh
and they
wow.
found a different genus. Is that how you say it? Genus, a genus of, like,
Genus, yeah.
genus of a
Uh,
monkey that
okay, so a whole new species. Yeah.
whole new
Okay.
species. And in this
Wow.
case, they threw their monkeys sort of into this cave. And so it was an attempt to bury them. And they said, no, this blew their minds because
Hmm.
monkeys don't usually bury their dead. So it was, yeah, it's an interesting one.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting. You're right. That's
Hmm.
really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Leah, stop. I was just looking at Merkabah's. There's
Yeah.
no such thing as a coincidence, Leah. That means you need to keep
No,
looking at it,
you
whatever
need
you're
to get
doing with
one.
them. Yeah.
You can
I
get them in
love
all
them.
different kinds of stones. Yeah, you really
Yeah.
can, Leah. Yeah.
They're really, really they're used for astral travel if you do that, if you're
Mhm.
meditating, and it's a protective kind of energy.
Uh-huh.
Anyway. Yes, Linda, I would love to see Göbekli Tepe. That's in Turkey.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's supposed to be. That's actually. There's so much literature about it. It was found in the 90s, and Göbekli Tepe. Basically, a farmer was out digging in the field, found this big rock. Oh, okay, cool. Germans came in, excavated it. Oh my gosh, this has set back the world's history several thousand years. Like it's
Yeah.
incredible, and
Yeah.
it actually shows depictions of stars that an ancient civilization would have never known about. Right? So
Right.
yeah, it's
Right.
incredible.
Well, which we'll have to throw in here because we are spiritual academics. The idea
Yeah.
that some of the things that have been written about, talked about, mythologized, was that
Mm.
these were people that were alien walking the earth, and they, I mean, if you look at the size and scope of those pyramids, it's like there has to be some otherworldly help, I would think, in
Yeah,
order to
well, yeah.
yeah,
2 points. First of all, I took a card and tried to slid it in between where the stones are. You can't
yeah,
fit it in there. It's that fine. How do you? And if you get little millimeters off or an inch or two off, then your pyramid's wonky. I mean, how did they
yeah,
do that with
yeah,
that tech?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, it's
too,
incredible.
yeah, it's too, and look at how long it hasn't crumbled. It hasn't, it has a
Yeah.
little bit, but the wind mostly is the damage
Mm,
that's been done on it. But how
yeah,
would
yeah.
you, be able to, do that otherwise? Yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
Craig, I agree with you with the point you made about Howard Carter's time. And the other thing is too that a little boy found the stair steps that led to Tutankhamun's tomb. It wasn't him, but he took credit for it. So there's all kinds
okay,
of crazy political agendas, and I agree with that. There needs to be a reverence and an acknowledgement of the right people who discovered what, where, and the culture should
yeah,
have a say in how it's handled. That it,
yeah,
that's
I
part of.
get it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, mm, I agree.
Well, the thing is that I took some classes in Western civilizations, and this is what we have to do when we're academics, but I could have spent eons of time still. And so many times I'll end up watching a documentary, or I'll end up picking up a book and wanting to read about it. And I found a book the other day. I haven't read it yet, but it's about papyrus, how papyrus was invented.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, we were taken to a place where they showed us how they made it. Oh my gosh, Allie, no way. I can't believe you
Oh,
just said
really?
that.
Yes, it just came
Yeah,
out. I'll send you the name of
yeah,
it. But yeah,
yeah. Or papyrus, or they say
yeah,
papyrus.
however they say it. Yeah, yeah. And I
It's
just love that.
fascinating.
I know
Yes,
it is fascinating.
yes,
It is. Yeah.
yeah. And it's the
So,
weirdest looking plant. If you guys
uh-huh.
are on Google, look up papyrus, Papyrus.
RUS.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
how they wrote and rolled it into
yeah,
rolls, right? Yeah.
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 So that's
Mhm.
how they made their paper. Whereas in Western civilization, they use vellum, which is sheepskin. Okay, the
Okay. Okay.
original thing that
I
they
didn't
wrote
know
on
that.
was the
Okay.
vellum.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
VELLUM.
I
It's
knew what
sheepskin.
vellum was, but I didn't know it was sheepskin. Okay.
Yeah, the originals. And so what's
Okay.
interesting is with the mummies, they buried Book of the Dead. So when the spirit would wake up, have a look, read what it was supposed to do, on its journey
Yeah.
into the afterlife. And the longest one they found is like, I don't know, 250 feet long, something like that. And it's all framed and it's on the wall in the Egyptian Museum. And so, of course, I did a video of the whole thing, even going past tourists, walking around. But the artwork in these things to that
Yeah.
day, I
Yeah.
mean,
Uh-huh. I
it's
know.
so
I know.
intricate and beautiful.
It is. It is. It's
These
amazing.
people were
And did
smart.
you,
They were switched on. I'll have to tell you that.
they absolutely were.
Just because they
But
didn't have computers that we know of, or
well,
cars, or
we'll
yeah,
see. Yeah,
exactly.
I
Anyway,
get it. Wonderful. So, all right. So we want to dedicate a few minutes of time to
absolutely.
how to get through these holidays,
Yes.
and so I could use any kind of help that anybody could give, because
Mm.
everybody's coming here this Christmas, which was fine. My daughter felt overwhelmed, and I said, "I'd just come here. It's easy." But I think we're talking about that on top of family, on top of the hustle and bustle,
Mm.
feeling sad for losses and things like that. So
Mm.
um, go for it, girl. Give us the magic. Give us the magic.
Well, I can't say the magic for
I know.
everyone, but the magic for me, my personal formula, and then
Yeah.
it's not even a
Yeah.
formula. It's just it's all about self care and
Yeah.
things that allow me not to get caught up in the energies of it. I find it's quite a frenetic, like kind of energy. Shop, shop, shop. Got to do this. Got to all this kind of have to do, have to, have to, instead of
Hmm.
kind of sitting back and going, okay.
Uh-huh.
Look, we're celebrating each other. We're with each other. What's going,
Right,
and
right.
we've had some family tragedies hit us around Christmas in our whole family, and it still impacts our family every
Sure
year.
it does. Sure it
Uh,
does.
and but what we do is we lost a family member, so we leave an extra chair at the
I
table for
like
that
that.
person.
Yep.
Or we think about that person and write cards or notes. The other thing is we take time to think about grateful things every day. And I'm not trying to be Pollyanna-esque. If
I
there are
know.
feelings that are emotions that come across me where I'm crying, I'll let it come out.
Good.
Because the minute you
Yeah.
stuff that stuff down, then it's going to end up like a body issue later. And if you stuff it down for too long, your body can be really sick.
It can
Um,
be. Yeah.
yeah. So for me, the physical exercise is what for me. There are people. It's an active relaxation thing for me. I like to
Hmm.
walk with my dogs or get in the swimming pool, at the public pool here and do my laps and stuff. Oh, that's good, Leah. I'm glad it has no hold on you. That's good.
But yeah, I say I like
Yeah.
that mantra that Christmas has no hold on me. I am free. I can just
Yeah.
enjoy the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just try to revel in this moment because really, truly, as academics would say, the only real time we have is right now.
I know.
It's a concept. The future is really a concept, and so is the past.
Yeah.
Even though we can remember it, it can impact our behavior in this now.
It can.
You
It
know,
definitely can. Yeah.
but really, the only true time that exists is this moment right now. So,
Right. Absolutely.
yeah,
So Mary says, I say, be of service and
yes,
things that upset you and cannot control it, let it go. Be of service to
yeah,
further the possible outcome. Thank you, Mary.
that's really
Absolutely.
awesome, Mary. Yeah,
Yeah, it really
definitely.
is. I
Mm,
remember that it's like when had my first Mother's Day and Father's Day without my mom or dad, and I heard people
yeah.
complaining about their parents. I used to say, please, they're alive, enjoy them, love them. They are who they
Yeah.
are, and but at the holidays, I think we have so many expectations, and so just dropping
Mm.
those expectations to what is, and
Yes.
that happened for us for Thanksgiving. My daughter is very, very ADHD about things. Oh, who's coming? When are they coming? How much do I make? What do I do? And it's like she didn't do that. She didn't do that. And I said, whatever happens, happens. And we had the best time. We laughed, we played a game, we ate what we wanted when we wanted to.
Mm.
And it was just a totally relaxing. It wasn't like, when people, I gotta make the turkey, I gotta check this, I gotta do that, and gotta do the dishes. So, you can do the same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Well, it's also surrendering it to spirit. I mean, that's what I did when I was traveling. It's kind of disconcerting to see, there's Gaza
Yeah.
Strip is only
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
8-hour drive from Cairo. It's like 20-minute
Yes.
flights. I mean, it was like right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm only gonna get this one chance in my lifetime, maybe another one. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm gonna give it up
Yeah.
to spirit and just love it and embrace it and enjoy it. I'm with my husband, so if we go, we'll go together.
I get it. I get it. There are some
It's
things we have to let go of. Yeah.
yeah,
You
so
know,
even with Christmas, it's just like, okay, it's gonna be great, Today's great, let's enjoy it, surrender it, things
yeah.
don't get done. Oh well, they get done. The main thing is we're here together. So yeah.
What I love is,
Mm,
and I just put my tree up. I love seeing all the
nice.
ornaments from the years that have gone by.
Yes. Yes.
And I still have one that was made out of popsicle sticks and felt and googly eyes that my son made when he was like
How cute.
4. And it's like,
Oh,
yeah, I know. And it says the date on the back of it, and it says it
lovely.
looks supposed to be a
Yeah.
reindeer, and I just love it. It just makes me
Of
happy.
course. And
Yeah,
it's just those things that are priceless and
yeah,
yeah, that's what
yeah.
it's about. Yeah, for
It is
sure.
all about that.
Mm,
That's right. Oh, good one, Nita.
yeah.
I'm glad you had fun and relaxed too. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Good share. That's a good share. So the only
Oh,
other thing I can
lovely.
recommend is, especially if you're having a lot of guests, to just say to them, you know, this is what I do, and I know it doesn't work for everybody, but
Mm,
make yourself at home. If you want something to eat, go look in the refrigerator or ask me. If you want something to drink, same thing. You don't have to, and don't
yeah.
stand on formality. and I find that I do that with at my girlfriend's house. If I want something, I get it. I don't, I look in the cabinet or whatever. And it takes the pressure off the guest and the person at home. And so it's really been helpful for me. So I just pass that along.
Yep.
All right. Okay, Linda. Well, we had lasagna, so I did not eat any sacrificial animal either. So I get it. I get it. Hi, mother of three. Gotcha. All right. So yes, Craig Dixon was on
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool.
last week, and we had so much fun. And Clara came through, and there were some
Nice.
orbs that came through. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So we got about 6 questions. If there's, we'll go ahead and do it. And I want to remind everybody that I am on with Jean at 10 o'clock. So in an hour and a half, or an hour from now, I'm sorry, in an hour from now. So if you don't get your question answered, you can bring it there, just so you know. Ann and I had to trying to find a time that both of us could be together here.
It's been a while. I'm sorry, guys. I missed you all. I've been lurking in the background in between everything, and I'm in the chat. And yeah, some of you might know me. It's just Dan Simpson. That's me. But I'm a dir in the front. They are.
Yeah, tell everybody what you have decided to do though at the around the first of the year.
Oh yeah, so great, thank you, Allie. In the beginning of the year, I'm finally going to make my channel more active and start doing posts and doing things. Kind of educationalist, spiritualist kind of viewpoint. So I have my doctorate in education. For those of you who don't know, that's why it's the Dr. Ann thing. But when I was doing my research, I came across quantum entanglement and entanglement theory. So I've been trying to break that down and understand it more. Because the quantum and spirit really. That's how it is. There's a science that's starting to explain it all. Just at the very beginnings. Anyway, so that's what I'm keen on kind of looking at more, and I'm writing about it. So maybe there'll be a book coming out soon. Who knows?
Oh wow!
Yeah, it'll be really cool. So yeah, it would be great if you join me. My channel, it's at oh gosh, I don't even know my channel, but we can post it later. Okay. I have 9 followers.
I'll post it. I'll make sure. Somewhere. Yeah, I'll make sure that. But the name of it is
Sentient Academic. Dr. Ann, Sentient Academic. I think it's here. I'll find it. Give me a minute, people.
No, that's all right, Ann. Sentient Academic. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
which I knew from your email. Anybody that's asking questions about people that have passed, can you wait and bring it to the next show, because Jean will be on there. And Oil Painter says I'm in there, so that's good.
Thank you.
We're just pulling cards here today, Ann and I. Ann is not a newbie, but she's working into.
I'm emergent.
She's emerging. That's right.
I'll use my academic words.
All right.
It just means I'm starting out, but I've got a really lovely deck. I've got the Kyle Gray.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Deck that I happened to win.
And won a few years ago. Hi, Mary Loudon. It's nice to see you.
Hi.
Leah, I'll ask Ann if she knows anything about the math in the Eye of Horus.
Oh, that's a good one. I actually have an Eye of Horus ring I've got when I was
I got a scarf also from Ann with
because it's about protection, and they used it as amulets. Now, I don't know about the maths, but I'm sure there's something to it. I do know that it represents different directions, and it's about a whole spiritual protection. So that's why I got you that, Allie. I wanted to make sure you're spiritually protected. But so that is such a great question. I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sure there's
maybe we can research it for you.
But the amulets are everywhere. They put them all. They wrap up the mummy, and then they put all these protective amulets and little artifacts, like super small, or it'll be painted on the top of the sarcophagus lid, and they're like the Russian dolls. They have multiple sarcophagi until you find the mummy, so it's ding, 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 ding. That's why they're so big looking until you get all the way down to the actual mummy person. But they're so protected, and it's a very, very, very sacred symbol, the Eye of Horus. So,
as is the evil eye. in the Muslim
Yeah,
religion. Yeah, yeah.
or that one's actually the all-seeing eye of God. That one that you see a lot in Turkey, the one that's kind of just like circles, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that one. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's actually protection. It's all
Okay.
protection.
I
Yeah,
have one
I
around my
know.
ankle, so yeah.
Okay, so your ankle is protected, so it's the
My
rest of you.
ankle is very well
Yeah.
protected. Linda wants to
Sorry.
know if you bought a scarab when you were there.
Yeah, I bought one. Thank you, Linda. I bought one for my son. He wanted one. So
Oh,
we, but
excellent. Okay.
just yeah. So scarabs are quite
Yeah.
winged creatures, and yeah, and they were, some people way out there in like the kind of fantastic alien-esque world think that, how did they come about with these half human, half animal beings as gods and different colored skin? They actually think there's some. Remember, this is just another viewpoint, not necessarily my own. It could be, I don't know. Is that they think they were hybrid beings from different places? Yeah. So
Oh,
so you've
wow.
got all
Cool.
kinds of theories,
Yeah.
it could be
Yeah.
alien, could be, yeah. Anyway.
Okay. All right. So
All
here
right,
we
so
go.
yep, sorry. May I ask
That's okay. So
art
Leah
form?
wants to know what art form will activate financial abundance? Ooh.
Art
It's funny that
form.
I pulled the ballerina, but I'm not telling you to go learn ballet. I'm just saying that it's something that takes discipline and practice is what your art form would be, and something that you would feel touches your heart.
Hmm.
And I get the saucer, and the saucer holds the cup. And so it's I'm going to say that the saucer is holding the cup and the cup is full of the wisdom. So it could have something to do with holding more wisdom that can be revealed within another art form. If that makes sense. That's about the best I can do for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Leah, I've gotten so from this deck, it's really interesting. So the broken arrow,
Oh, yeah.
which means embrace the energy of peace. And I actually see this art form here, which is multi-directional. You've got
Mm-hmm.
all the directions of the earth. So the circle, and it never ends. The circle never ends, right? Which is why we have wedding rings, because love is unending.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
so I think maybe that's something to think about, something circular. But I also think I came to me about citrine. Citrine brings abundance and wealth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stone. Also release the old and rest. So there's something about your past that's holding. I'm trying to get it on my. Sorry, I've got blur. Um, Something's holding you back, so you need to release a little bit to move forward, and it might be fear.
Ah,
Yeah, fear
okay.
might be the thing, and then the other one is you can't track down your fears and desires, hunter. So there you go. So something's holding you back in terms of your fear
You know
that
what's
I
funny
reckon
is
will release it. Yeah.
they were saying that maybe it was a flying saucer, so maybe it has to do with the ETs, Leah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
That would be,
You got
yeah,
that, Linda.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It is a
Yeah.
dance. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'd say that it sounds like a real interesting art form for you to check out, Leah. I hope it works out and you were
Mary,
able
I think
to.
that's really interesting what you say about math.
Ah,
Yeah, that's really
okay.
interesting what you say about math. In our 3D world, I think that's true. I think there are different
Uh-huh.
properties of physics. So, math is the language of science.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that statement. Anyway, who's next?
I'm just going to put up two comments here. One of them was Laura said, "Are you familiar with the noosphere?" I
Noosphere.
I don't. I'll have to check it. I will,
I've
Laura.
heard of it. I don't know much about
Okay.
it. So, yeah.
And Michelle wonders what the meaning of a scarab. Isn't a scarab a beetle that's
It's a
that?
beetle. Gosh, I'm having a brain foggy moment. They used it for burial. It's significant. I have to look it up. I'm sorry, Michelle. I wish I knew it all. I'm not an Egyptologist, but I would love it. In a previous life, I would have loved it.
Okay,
Seriously, I could have stayed
it's a
there.
dung beetle, so that would mean that
Yeah,
it would have been in camel dung.
yeah,
And it's depicted with wings and engraved with hieroglyphs, and it's sacred in ancient Egypt. So it was just one of those things that's sacred, was
yeah,
determined to be sacred by their people. So,
yeah. So it's an impression. So it's used on seals, and they usually have wings. And the wings
Uh-huh.
are significant because that helps fly you to the heavens. Remember, as soon as you died and you were buried, sorry, they
You
thought
were
and
no.
believed you would meet Osiris in heaven and fly across the night sky through the
Yep.
sun.
Yep.
And then you'd be in your eternal afterlife, which is why they even mummified bread. They mummified everything.
Did
Animals.
they really? They
Yes,
mummified
yeah,
bread so you'd have something
bread.
to eat? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it looked like
Yeah.
hockey pucks. And I'm like, what? No way. And so they have examples of it. It's just like insane.
They'd be little like throwing
They,
discus, a discus in
yeah,
there.
they
Yeah, yeah, I
buried
get it.
anything, and I'm thinking, yeah,
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 I
it's
get it.
incredible. Yeah.
Wow. All right, so joyful journey. Will my financial abundance improve so I can pay off my debts? Boy, and if it does, will you? Can we all get that? I think that would be wonderful. Oh, will your financial? You know, the
Mm,
thing that we our belief system that we're brought up with in a lot of cases, especially us boomers, we were taught that there isn't enough to go around and we have to scrape and my mother's one of her mantras was we can't afford it, we can't afford it, we can't afford it.
mm,
And because she would say it over and over again, guess what, we couldn't afford it. The truth is that there's plenty for all of us. And finance, money, this is what bothers me about the Republicans. They're always talking about money, 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 we'll be in debt forever. It's an illusion. It's just energy. It's energy. And so I tend to, and I'm not making light of it because I have been there, joyful journey, and I still am there in a lot of ways. But at the same time, I'm trying very hard to let it go. Let it go and know that I will be protected and I will be.
well, where your thoughts go, energy flows,
That's
right?
true.
And all of our thoughts are recorded in the Akashic records, whether we like them or not. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I thought about bad things about that driver, and I thought this bad stuff. So I play this like real insane game in my mind. But
Uh-huh.
but one of the things for me that I've tried to just say, you know what, I'm taken care of. I'm well taken care of, and I'm grateful.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then that's abundance. That means not just the financial aspects, but that's kind of my mantra. I'm very grateful. I'm taken
Yeah.
care of. So
Yeah.
health, well-being, my family,
I am
my
healthy,
home.
wealthy, and wise is
And
one of my
yeah,
mantras. Yeah.
yeah,
It covers
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
So let's see. The first card I get for you, Joy, is you're shedding some tears, or you may be sweating it. So
Mm,
what you need to do is you can shed the tears. I'll never tell anybody not to cry if they need to, but don't sweat it. It will take care of itself, but you've got to let it go. You can't grasp onto it and say, oh, will it be? Will it be? You have to let it go. So that's the first thing.
mm,
There are three people involved here, and I don't know who those three. You're one of them, I'm sure, but I have here external factors are maybe going to be helping you. There might be three people that will help you out, or you could be one of three people that will pull together to help you with this. The last thing I get is riches and wealth. I get the bull. It says stubborn and uncompromising, but stability and durability and riches and wealth. So be grateful for the wealth that you have, whether that wealth be in friendship, in community, in love, in family, and all other things will be made manifest as well. There you go. All right.
mm. Awesome. So, joyful journey. I've got the first one is the high priest, intend and create. So where the thoughts go, the energies flow. So this is where intend and create. And it's really hard to see, but there's a Merkaba in here. So you've got some sacred geometry happening. So wherever your thoughts go, you're protected. Okay, the Merkaba is a protecting energy. And then the druid holding your space. So
Oh,
meditate on it and look at, you've got a crystal here, and that crystal, this is an older fella, a druid, a wise man, so maybe it's something you really need to think about and just dwell on, or just hold that space and let the thoughts come to you. Let your higher self put thoughts in
yeah.
your mind about it when you're meditating or whatever you're doing for your
Yeah.
downtime, to let it, the messaging come through. And then the third one is ignite your passion. Maybe it's related to your passion, and there's a
Maybe
triangle
that's
in
three
here.
people. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the real abundance comes in that passion and that energy and your excitement, and whatever that is, that will bring in the abundance.
There you
If
go.
that's job related, family related, or all the above related,
Yeah.
what is that passion that you can hook into that will help bring that abundance for you? Yeah.
You know what I
Oh, I
love
have
though is the fact
yeah.
that her name is Joyful Journey, because
Yeah.
if she's living in joy,
Yep.
then yeah, that's
It
all.
speaks volumes. That's
It does speak
beautiful.
volumes. It really
Yeah.
does. Yeah. All right, Michelle, why
Mm.
have you been so angry lately? Much. Oh, honey,
I'll tell you what,
we
Michelle, the energies are off the charts.
they are.
Everyone's being
We're
hammered.
being
Yeah.
bombarded by
Mm.
solar storms.
Yep.
There's other light that's coming in that's wreaking havoc on us. There's a lot of planetary influence. You can ask Diana or anyone that does astrology, the things that are
Mhm.
happening in the planets. I believe we're working into a Mercury retrograde. We feel as though we don't have any choice about things. And I will say that there are things that will come out of me too that make me, that you wonder where they come from, you know.
Mm.
But let's see what we can pull for you. You can go whenever you're ready, Anne.
Oh, I'm cool at the moment.
All right. Okay, this is interesting.
Mm.
Hmm.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, it came up again.
Yep,
Sorry,
then you know it's
I
a
just
message.
shuffled. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go. Michelle. So you got the High Priestess, harness your mystic power, and this is an Egyptian theme.
Oh my goodness.
But they can't.
Wow.
But you've got a higher power that you need to harness and hook into, so you aren't powerless. Usually, anger and frustration, you know,
Hmm.
it's a lashing out. It's a purging of some kind of feeling that you've got, hurt or fear, or it can be disguised other
Hmm.
emotions. So maybe sit with that and think about the power that you've got within you that can overcome it.
Mm.
Also, drop your shield. Maybe you're protecting yourself from something.
Hmm. Could be.
Maybe you're trying to protect yourself from being hurt some more.
Could be. Yeah.
Some people lash out because they're scared. You
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
And then here's another shield. You can't get it. There's shields everywhere.
Oh, there's
Shield maiden.
shields again. Yeah.
Yeah, make plans and focus. So you've got shields, and you're protected all over the place by spirit. You're
Oh
fine.
wow. I kind of get
Yeah.
similar things here. Yeah, I really do. The,
That's so
the
cool.
first one,
Yay.
the first one I get is a healing heart card, which says rebellious heart. Think for yourself. It could be that you're mad about people assuming that you think the same way that they do, and you're done with that. You're ready to do something
Mm,
very different. Look, it's opening. The arms are opened up, and the heart is beating and saying, "Go with what your heart says." That's important.
mhm,
They want you to lighten your load. There's the
mm.
shield. There's a shield to lighten your load because you are grieving in some way. We're all grieving right now, actually. Every single one of
Yeah.
us. We're all in the
Yeah.
midst of PTSD from what's going on this planet and all the
Mm.
craziness. Don't and number and also Michelle, don't beat yourself up for being angry. It's part of the process.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
I was
part
just
of the
gonna say that, Allie. Are you reading my
yeah.
mind, Allie? That's the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
you
It's
roll with
okay to
the
be angry.
feelings because it's
Yeah,
okay. I
it
mean,
is.
of
Yep,
course, it's totally okay.
absolutely.
But know that you'll come out the other side of it.
That's right.
It won't
You
always
will.
be your perpetual state.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so Craig's added more Christmas lights. Does Clara like them? You know your Clara thinks you
Yes, of
do no
course she
wrong.
says yes. She's a starlet. She loves starry, sparkly things.
She
That's a
says,
that's
"Oh
a
my God!" She says, "Look at you're lighting up the sky, Craig. Honest to God, thank you." And she picked the colors. I think he said it was purple and white, and she just is
pretty.
thrilled he found them. So there you
So you got the
go. Uh huh.
sphere, and it says see beyond the current situations. That which of course you are, because you're connecting with her
That's
spiritually.
right.
So she knows that. Of course, you know that.
Uh
You
huh.
know that she loves this stuff. She's a starlet. She loves the light. She loves the attention. She loves the lavish attention you give her, which is
Uh
amazing.
huh.
So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah,
Awesome. Thanks,
yeah,
Craig. Julie
yep.
says the
Julie.
collective
Mm.
grief. Yeah. We are all in the midst of collective grief. That's right.
I
Thank you.
agree. Yeah.
All right, so we've got Peacock Rainbow, and she
Mm.
wonders who is coming toward me in love. We can't really give a name because we don't know. When, we don't know, but we will give you what is showing up in the energy of the love energy. How about
Mm. Yeah, I think that's a good. Hmm.
that? This is a riot. Oh my goodness. Cupid's arrow. Now, how perfect is that? Cupid's arrow is
Awesome.
ready. Feeling true love. Finding true love. Love is in the air. It looks like you're going
Yeah.
to meet someone new. That's what it says. You're meeting someone new, and he may or she may have the power to manipulate your emotions. So go easy. Go easy on it.
Mm.
Remember, you're learning about each other. You don't want to jump too fast. Because explosive events, it looks like this is going to be like, wow, pow, this is fabulous. Honestly, I don't know when, but it's in the energy, at least today. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay,
Uh-huh.
Peacock Rainbow. I got the Earth Guardian, which is stay rooted and grounded.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you choose to do in terms of the energy, just be true to yourself and earth yourself. If that means, putting your feet on the ground and just going, okay, right, this is me, this is who I am, because that sets your energy to be open for
Yep.
meeting others, I think. And
Mm-hmm.
then the next one is enjoy your growth and reap rewards. And I love this. She's so pretty. But I
Yeah.
think that that's with the grounding and so forth, if you stay rooted in that, you will reap the rewards from it. So stay true to
Mm-hmm.
yourself. So that goes into the whole don't be confused or be overswept off your feet and not see the
Yeah.
forest through the trees. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
And then the next one, which is beautiful, is you direct your path. So you have some
Uh,
control over
you
this
do.
too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't
Which
forget
is
that. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Diana, I saw the full moon nearly this morning. And it was just, I got up. I get up with the moon. But
Right.
oh my gosh, it was stunning at dawn.
Really, I hope I can
Absolutely
see it tonight. That's or
stunning.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, this is just a public service announcement that
Hmm.
you need to buy any electronics before December 13th, and
Yeah.
don't buy any between the 13th of December and January 1st because
Hmm.
Mercury's in retrograde. Don't sign any contracts.
Yep.
Don't make any rash decisions.
Hmm.
Forewarned is forearmed. And if you're sending out emails, they may get lost. Things get lost. The technology gets wonky. Blame it on old. Oh, what was it that they call? Somebody said it has a funny way of saying it. Gatorade. Mercury is in or something is in Gatorade instead of retrograde. Mercury's in Gatorade again. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All
Yeah,
right.
so Diana's like she gets up early too. Good on you.
Yeah.
That's what we say here in New Zealand. Good on you. It means good for you.
Good on you. Yep. That's right.
They
That's
say it in
right.
Australia too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you underneath the equator folks.
Yeah. The Coriolis effect is in the opposite direction than you guys.
All right, Mary, you want some cards? I got some pretty cards for you. Let's see.
Mm.
Ooh. So they want you to focus on gratitude. Of course, all of us need to do that. But
Mm.
there's a beautiful energy around the gratitude we have. And look, it looks like the moon there. So they're saying under this moon, this new moon full moon we're having, get out there and be
Mm.
grateful. The synergy is beautiful at that time, and so
Mm.
your synergy will match that synergy, and you will work together to bring whatever it is you want to manifest, because it brings more opportunity for you as well. Mary, look at that. How beautiful. I love the
That's
colors in
beautiful.
the cards. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Mary, I've got feel loved and comforted, the Mother Earth, birthing the Earth
Mm.
is Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's good. So you're loved and comforted in the warmth of nature or Mother Earth, and if you can get out in it, if it's not too cold for you, or bundle up and just stand outside for a few minutes with a nice hot cup of coffee and then come back in. Um, Gaia Father is trust the unknown. So whatever you're going through right now, just trust that Spirit's got your back.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, rejection can be a form of protection, whatever that means, and that just came to me. So I hope that speaks to you. If it's
Yeah,
just
it's
random and
very
doesn't
true.
make sense, yeah.
Yes.
And then also ignite your passion. So when you connect with nature and you figure out, okay, yeah, this is what makes sense for me, then go with it
Yeah.
and enjoy it. It
Enjoy.
doesn't mean, everything, you can't arrive without traveling, whatever your journey is, right? And, you see these
Yeah.
people making lots of money or abundance. You think, how they get there? How they do? No, 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 no. You're getting lost in the message. The piece is what really ignites your passion. What's the next
Mm-hmm.
step? Okay, so for example, doing a YouTube channel or reading a book or doing something or joining a reading club or, whatever
Knitting.
those passions are. Yeah,
Could
take
be
those
knitting.
baby
Yeah.
steps and
Uh-huh.
then it leads to the next one. It leads to the next one. The universe doesn't work like everybody wins the lottery. It doesn't
Yeah.
work that way unless it's part of your life path. So it's got to be small incremental steps. I have no idea where this book and writing stuff is going to take me, but I know I love it, and so
Uh-huh.
that's where I'm at
Yeah.
with it.
You're enjoying
Allie's
the
doing
journey.
Yeah,
Yes.
Allie's
Yeah.
doing this amazing thing with the community and connecting with all these psychics and unique, interesting people for all of us to connect and discuss, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would have
Yeah.
never even thought I would be doing right now what I'm doing if it weren't for Allie and meeting people, which is
I
great.
know.
So
I know.
it's
There's a
a
lot of people that have said the
serendipitous,
same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
serendipitous, wondrous experience. So I'm very
Uh-huh.
grateful. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it
Yeah.
feels great.
Oh, art is
Anyway.
Mary's passion as well. That's beautiful art. I'm Mary.
Oh,
Beautiful art.
lovely.
Yeah, that
There
is.
you
Wow.
do it.
And you picked
Do it,
right
do
up
it.
on that one. You picked right up on that one. That's
That's
awesome.
cool.
It
Awesome.
is. Yep. So Mosi has a question, just a general reading. And Mosi's our last one for today because I
Okay.
have another show in
Amen.
a half an hour. So I've got to get my
Yes,
act
she needs
together.
she needs a voice break, people, and
Uh-huh.
and I have to go to work. Bummer. I might listen to
Oh,
you while I'm working
Mary,
though.
she's been asked
Yeah.
to paint the mall windows. Do it,
Oh my
do it, do
gosh,
it.
do it. Do
That's
it.
wonderful, Mary.
Mary, what you do is you just ask your guides to channel through you what you're supposed to do,
Yep.
and then it'll be like,
Yes.
wow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see
That's
that. Do it.
fabulous.
It's
I would love to see
amazing.
pictures of that if you do that, Mary. Wow.
That's amazing.
I know. So, Mousy, I pulled a heart card for you. You got the passionate heart. Use your voice to wake up others. Now, what this also could mean is in your community, those that are around you, your family, your voice and what you say and how you say it can awaken other people. When you're shopping, you can just say hello. You can, we are those light workers, and your heart is in your voice can help others to awaken to what their gifts are, which may be very much like yours. The next one I get is friendship. And so maybe that's part of it, join your friendship circle. And if that is here in this community, because we do have a friendship circle sort of as a community, then it's just exactly what you're doing, which is writing things in the chat, saying hello to people. That's your voice. So it gets friends and then it gets family. Isn't that really? And your friends are your
Hmm.
family. They're family of your choice. Yeah.
And to follow through with that, and this is really cool because this is actually a Te Ao Maori. This is actually a New Zealand warrior. This picture.
Oh,
See his tattoo, Te Moko.
yep.
Te Moko. Half the side represents spiritually his family. The other half is his mother, and one side's his father. So he's honoring his ancestry by having that. And
Oh,
there's a
okay.
very spiritual ceremony you have to go through to
To
do
do
it.
that?
I mean,
Okay.
you aren't just allowed to tattoo. And there are women that have tattoos right here on their chins, and it's a very spiritual,
Okay.
significant thing in New Zealand. Yeah, and I've
Okay.
seen real life men with tamoko all of their full face. They're full warriors. I mean, it's incredible.
Sure.
That's acknowledging your family and also, being a warrior. So the next one I got was the shapeshifter, which is transform and unveil your gifts. So while you're acknowledging your family, I still think that you've got um, gifts to give,
Yeah.
and you've got a transmutation happening within you to be able to give them. So
Wow.
I think that there's something happening for you there, and
Mhm.
drop your shields. So any inhibitions you have, you need to
There's
let
our
go.
shields again. Wow.
Yeah,
We do. We put them up because we're afraid of something.
yeah,
And we do
yeah,
have to protect ourselves, but not
yeah.
wall ourselves in. There is a
Yes,
fine
exactly.
balance. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And your ancestors are with you through this. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Wow.
We are a product of our ancestors, even though we may
We
not have
are.
known all of them. Yeah.
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 Wow. Thank you,
Yeah.
Anne. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I will be putting up Anne's channel information soon, and she'll be opening up her channel, and I hope you go and listen to her. But she's still going to be coming on with me if we can
Yeah,
ever
for
get the
sure.
right time to do it.
I know,
And yeah,
sorry. I'll
we're
be
going to
more
be
around.
working on a book soon. Not writing it, but reading it, and we're going to bring that in
Yeah, we
as well.
found some good books.
We
We
did.
found a really cool researcher from Yale University who's a psychiatrist, but she's
Yeah,
also into the spiritual.
and spiritual. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
anyway,
Excellent.
lovely
Thank you,
seeing you
everybody.
all.
Thank
Sending
you.
you lots of love. Thank you so much. Thanks, Allie.
Bye bye.